I just told the entire story of Overwatch in my last video, the rise and fall of Overwatch. But out of everything we've seen so far for Overwatch 2, I'm not sure they're going to save themselves yet. And this is the key part to this entire Overwatch story. If Overwatch 2 flops, the franchise is done. I don't see Blizzard putting any more resources into the game if Overwatch 2 is a letdown. So that's why I push so hard for great changes to come and for new gameplay experiences. I want to see Overwatch reach its fullest potential because I really do believe it is the best game ever made. No other game has ever pulled me in quite like Overwatch has. This is its last chance. If the PvP and PvE don't get widespread success, Overwatch will come to an end. It will look like TF2. No updates ever. Oh wait, that's what it already looks like. The last thing we all want to see is Overwatch 2 to release and players don't come back. Halo Infinite just showed the world that if you don't have content ready and release a game in pieces, the game dies fast. But Blizzard has laid out a similar plan, releasing the game in pieces, so we need to discuss options. This is how Overwatch can save itself. As one of the most recognizable gaming IPs of all time, announcing a sequel is huge. But out of all of the trailers for Overwatch 2, did we see anything that was groundbreaking or deserving of Overwatch's redemption? Nothing looked inherently new. Across the betas as well, this game is basically the same. Then there certainly is an element of don't fix what's not broken that I'm a fan of, but even the end screen to each round looking the same, it just feels odd for a sequel. Let's just hope this is a beta thing. When people say Overwatch 2 looks like an update instead of a new game, this is valid criticism. There's a reason they do that. Blizzard could be holding back on us, waiting until launch to unveil the parts they've been working on this whole time, but this PvP launch is called an early access launch. I think we're getting what we're seeing here. But moving to free to play will be a huge start, getting a massive increase in players initially. We ended up losing most of our player base over the last 6 years, and if we want a thriving community again, we have to start with the basics: content. The actual new content Overwatch is getting is the PvE mode. Now, Blizzard has been pretty hush-hush about this entire element of the game. We've only seen tiny bits of content, so who knows what they all have in store for this. But slated for release next year, this is going to be the part of the game that actually feels new and hopefully gets people to come back and check out Overwatch. Blizzard has a history with making PvE games. From World of Warcraft to Diablo, they're known for some of the best PvE experiences in the gaming industry. We can only hope that this mode is truly worthy of everyone's time. I overall do have a good feeling for Overwatch's PvE. I got to talk with Jeff Kaplan about it specifically, and it really seemed like that they were setting up this team for success.
Just in my room, that they sit like 5 feet from me, is the designer who made Onyxia and Cthulhu for World of Warcraft, and also separate designer, the guy who made Ragnaros and did the itemization in original WoW for the endgame rating. So there's a lot of people with a lot of experience making endgame PvE content. So we're pretty confident we can put a lot of challenge into it and put a lot of reward into it as well.
This is what Blizzard is best at, so let's see what they do. If PvE releases and it feels like a longer Archives event, well, good luck, Charlie. From what we alpha tested at BlizzCon 2019, or we'll call this the pre-alpha, it most definitely felt like an Archives event. But I'm assuming that was just thrown together for the sake of having a demo available. The PvE is what will bring back the mass of casual players to this community, so hopefully they're in for a treat. We need a great grindable PvE game with a fantastic endgame, not a Diablo 3 issue that needed an expansion for the endgame to even be enjoyable. We also don't need an auction house problem. If you're looking for a great PvE experience in the FPS genre, look no further than Destiny 2. I put a ton of time into this game since it was released. It's had a lot of ups and downs, but at the end of the day, they do get content, new gameplay experiences, reasons to keep playing. This is what we need Blizzard to do with Overwatch PvE when it releases. We don't talk about this much in the gaming community as a whole because Blizzard is hiding so much of it. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Maybe this is the next game of the year. The PvP needs to be so addicting that we have the next Destiny 2 or Path of Exile on our hands. That's the dream scenario. But just as easily, this could unfold into being Archives Event 2.0. where the gameplay is fun, but after one playthrough, you're about ready to uninstall. Content is one of the necessities in life. It's like food and water. You need it to survive. That was so corny. Give people a reason to come back and keep playing. Unique gameplay experiences. This could be in many different forms, and surprise, surprise, it doesn't mean a battle pass. We all see Overwatch 2 is moving to the free-to-play and battle pass model, and that is a great start on the path to saving itself. But a variation of a skin or a sticker, that's not the content we need. We need gameplay content. That's what an actual community needs to thrive. New experiences. Think really big here. Why are we not able to hang out in a hub area where we get to be our own unique customized Omnics? Why is the whole game not based around us as Omnics and we unlock different parts for our characters? We could walk around and interact with friends, have a 1v1 fun arena where you can pick up an Overwatch hero's weapon on an armory wall. It's just food for thought as an example. It's like a combination of Destiny 2's hubs with Call of Duty's 1v1 arena from World War II. Maybe we rework the Overwatch training range into this thing. Where is this stuff in the sequel, Blizzard? They have promised to give us either a new map or hero every battle pass season, but is that something people will be excited about? New heroes are always great, unless they're bad for the game. But think like when the workshop was added, that was one of the best patches in the history of the game. Blizzard gave the community a way to design their own custom game modes. If you had any talent in game design, you were able to code and create new gameplay experiences that the community would go on to play for years. Keep pushing the needle. Look towards a map editor, for example, some sort of forge mode like old Halo games had. Funny how I have to say old Halo games and not the current one because they're still working on it. That makes me so mad, honestly. I'm a firm believer that if they give you more power as a player, the game has a bigger chance at holding long-term success. Counter-Strike is such a great example of custom games being amazing. Who would have ever guessed that Counter-Strike surfing would be the staple YouTube gameplay all throughout the 2010s? It was so fun. And this was only possible with the map editor. The community took over. Overwatch can do this and needs to do this. Let the talented community members have the ability to create. Another tip Overwatch should learn from Counter-Strike is the Catch a Cheater Overwatch feature, where Counter-Strike has an actual system called Overwatch, where you can watch footage of a reported player and see if they were actually cheating.
Just shoot him through the... Just come on, do it. Just do it.
Let's have a similar system in Overwatch for the dedicated players. Keep adding features to where Overwatch is the perfect combination of other games' success. There's no reason we can't also have the ability to watch high SR games from the client as a spectator. In CSGO, you can watch live matches other players are playing in ranked. This could be an amazing tool for new players to learn how to play by watching the best of the best. Keep giving the player base more features. X Factors. Here's something you would never talk about in Overwatch. We need X Factors. Fortnite does special events with crossovers and screening movies in the game, having live concerts, having new gameplay experiences that give players a reason to talk about the games and keep playing it. The Thanos Marvel event that Fortnite pulled off was a really great example of doing a crossover while also adding a fun new gameplay experience that you could participate in.
We need that gauntlet right now. Holy crap, we got it! We are Thanos, baby! Let's go!
This is what we need. These live concerts would make headlines everywhere and really impress the community. Keep thinking big, Overwatch. It's time to shine. This is how you save yourself. Of course, we have the PvE coming next year at some point, which again, we know very little about. So maybe they did think big, they're just gonna surprise us. You can see me trying to be hopeful here. And I expect us to hear more about the PvE soon, where they finally show us the full scope of the game. We should also be getting more fleshed out gameplay experiences such as Lucio Ball, except on a bigger level. At the moment, we have to rely on the Overwatch workshop designers to create new content for the game, and they are extremely limited by what they can do, especially without a forge mode or map editor. We are close to being able to unlock the full potential of the community's talent, but we aren't just quite there yet. But are you just as surprised as me that it's 2022 and Overwatch doesn't have its own version of Mario Kart yet? I feel like Overwatch is the perfect IP for this game. Maybe that's the mobile game they're making. And speaking of mobile games, we do need a mobile game. And yes, Blizzard knows that we do have phones.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
I think we need an Overwatch companion app that ties into the main game. Maybe we are getting the full Overwatch experience on mobile somehow. That's cool. I hope it plays well. I've actually played Overwatch on my phone before, and it was really, really hard to control. I actually don't know how well the actual Overwatch gameplay experience would feel on my phone. But if League of Legends, Apex, Call of Duty, and Fortnite can do it, maybe we can too. But also, I'm okay with getting the Overwatch version of Clash of Clans. or Pokemon Go, however they see it. It doesn't have to actually be the full PC game experience on my phone. Any game that is able to point more players towards the main game, I know all of us have that one game on our phones that we actually keep up with, would be huge for the franchise. And Blizzard has said they are working on mobile games across their IPs. I'm not saying I want to spend $600,000 to max out my Diablo Immortal character. I need to make a video just on microtransactions alone at this point because that whole thing is just ridiculous. Activision, you have enough money. What I am saying is that a more reasonably monetized game in the world of Overwatch would be really cool. Free to play and tie it to the base game on PC, have incentives that point in both directions that get people to try both games, the main PC game and the mobile game. Maybe upgrading my Overwatch castle on my mobile game leads to a free level up on my main account on PC. And the more that you play on your main account on PC, the more of a boost you get in your mobile version of Clash of Overwatch. And this guild system that Overwatch is apparently getting could be seen in this app as well. And everyone can benefit off of each other participating as a group. You see where I'm going with all of this? We need Overwatch to think really big. Usually Blizzard was known as being the last to make a certain game, but be the best at it. And all of these things have been done before. Blizzard, it is your time to step in. More things that Overwatch 2 needs. A streamer mode. We need to make the game as accessible as possible for big streamers to stay engaged. This also means creator codes. Tim the Tatman and XQC, Dr. Disrespect, Summit1G, they should want to stream this game every day with people using their creator codes. If they're having fun at the same time as their creator codes being used, they should keep streaming the game. These elements all add up. Make sure content creators want to create for the game. That keeps new players coming in, along with the word of mouth from the general player base. If Overwatch can grab the best features from other games and keep developing them for itself, there's a real possibility we as a community can win big. Okay, we talked about a lot of stuff they need to add. Let's talk about the stuff they need to cut out. The queue times. Oh my gosh, Overwatch's queue times are no longer realistic for a modern gaming experience. I understand if you need to wait 5 minutes in League of Legends so you can play a 45-minute match, but waiting 5 minutes in Overwatch for a 10-minute game is crazy. Priority passes don't even fix this, so just scrap that. And if you haven't played Overwatch in the last few years, you probably didn't even know this was happening. It is my personal biggest pain with the game, where even in quick play, you can find yourself waiting 5 to 10 minutes for a single match. Not so quick, huh? Quick play. Competitive is where this is really problematic, but most players don't play comp, so it's not as big of an issue. But waiting 5 minutes would be considered a fast queue for a match these days. Playing the beta, we've already experienced longer queue times, so hopefully this issue is treated with high importance at Blizzard. And are you ready for this next one? Not sure that you're ready yet. Okay. This might be a hot take. I am rather annoyed by the restrictions of the role queue system. Crazy, isn't it? I never thought I'd say this. I think I prefer OG Overwatch's open queue. When Season 17 ended and we got these new systems, the LFG and the role queue system, I kinda missed being able to flex in every match.
Immediately, the beta confronts you with the horrifying truth that role queue is still in the game. Why? Why and how?
Role queue takes so much fun out of the game. Part of the appeal of Overwatch is that you could change characters at any point, and now you can't. Now you have to be a specific class of character and stick to that.
I actually really miss it, but this is a tough call because I feel like quick play structure and match quality did improve with its addition. Maybe this is solved in different ways, and I'm suspicious Blizzard was testing this in secret at BlizzCon in 2019, and they didn't even tell you. When you playtested the first ever version of Overwatch 2, you would all get into a lobby and then pick the hero you want, but only 2 heroes of each role could be selected before it got locked. I'm not gonna sit here and say Video Game Donkey is the foremost thought leader on Overwatch game balance.
Widowmaker still sucks ass.
But these are casual players with a lot of gaming experience, and they find these systems frustrating. Think about it like this. Every time the gaming community came back to the game over the years, there were more systems in place that added restrictions. Maybe this isn't the direction we should keep heading. The next part Overwatch needs to cut are the recycled seasoning events. I hope that going forward, we don't play the same iteration of Junkenstein's Revenge 6 years in a row. These events should be new, unique content. At least workshop these ideas enough to where it feels new, even if you don't design an entire new game mode for them. And the mini events where you have to win like 25 games to earn 3 skins, those aren't really a big pull for me either. I would scrap these entirely and put the energy elsewhere. I think they can make some really cool events happen with the right ideas. Again, I say Mario Kart Overwatch version. The next cut Overwatch should make are the current arcade game modes. Have you looked at these game modes and ever thought to yourself, this is it? They need to be replaced with something entirely different. I really don't see that many people queuing into total mayhem on a daily basis. Some of these modes are just fun, and I actually enjoy the 4v4 mode, but outside of that, these modes don't really impress me very much, and they are taking up valuable real estate for other modes that could potentially get players more engaged with the game. I hope Blizzard looks at this closely when releasing Overwatch 2. And the next one, the competitive system. The current way it's set up just needs to go. Having 4 different ranks for each role and open queue is just annoying. Please consolidate it into one rank. Whether we keep 222 or go back to open queue, just whatever. Go back to just one rank, please. Blizzard stated that they are overhauling the competitive game mode and that your SR will no longer be shown. You will just have a rank, kind of like how CSGO works. You have a rank and you just hope to rank up if you keep winning most of your matches. But you don't know what your actual SR number is, so you'll never know if you're one game away from ranking up or ranking down, and I'm okay with this overall. Another thing that Overwatch does is that they currently restrict you from playing with friends at higher ranks. Please remove that, and also go easy on the matchmaking when you are playing with friends. The current algorithm puts insane pressure on you if you decide to queue with any friends. Playing with 3 friends in Diamond can feel like the hardest Grandmaster experience. This new age of Overwatch 2 should encourage you to play with friends and not secretly try to ruin your matches for the sake of queuing with friends is too strong. Of course, all of this has just gotten worse with the diminished player base. It's very hard for a match to feel fair these days, but did you know that the original vision for Overwatch, you had to have 6 friends in a party to even queue? The more you know. An important note in all of this as well is to bring more incentives to players to keep them on main accounts. Smurfing has been so problematic in Overwatch. If you try to play a match today, get ready for a lobby that is half full of Smurfs and alt accounts. Maybe this has to do with the level required to play competitive only being 25, or that there are so many restrictions when trying to play with Overwatch with friends. That's why people make these accounts. But Blizzard did finally say that in Overwatch 2, they're adding cell phone verification to play. That's at least going to deter some people from making their 20th account, which is a good sign. But look, I am prepared to enter my social security number every time I play comp I'm just kidding. I'm not going to go that far. But I am serious about the competitive integrity of the game. The soul and heartbeat of a game is the casual audience and making sure that they're having an amazing experience. But the muscle in the game is the competitive format and making sure that integrity is high. I'm personally a fan of a competitive license idea, where perhaps you pay to play competitive and you buy a pass which lets you queue for it, and this means that the servers are upgraded to higher tick rate. These passes fund an anti-cheat department that is extremely involved. I'm just throwing out ideas here. A fundamental change in the barrier to entry will need to happen when the game goes free to play. The last thing we all want is every single person having 10 different accounts that they got to XP level 25 and they just mess around in comp. You want as many main accounts as possible queuing. And in my opinion, I would say please go ahead and raise the competitive requirement to like level 150, maybe 200. I think you need to be kind of high before you start playing. Overall, this is the line of thinking that Blizzard needs to bring Overwatch back to millions of players. This is a rare occurrence in the gaming world. A video game that is this well known having such a small remaining player base. It's funny too, because the game is actually pretty good. We have our discussions about balance, and I could have talked about in this video for an hour, but overall, the game is a really great experience. We just need a consistent flow of content and features to keep the community engaged long term. If Overwatch 2 releases and becomes the same story as Overwatch 1, just getting a new hero every couple months and that's it, Overwatch 2 will return to where the game is now. And I have a feeling that most of the effort is going towards the PvE instead of the PvP. So the actual Overwatch experience we're used to will pretty much be the same going forward and will only change when the PvE is released. But this does show that Blizzard has a lot of options to save Overwatch. Maybe with the idea of a battle pass and consistent new monetization, they are more willing to push resources into the Overwatch development team. That would be the ideal scenario. Overwatch's last chance to save itself is here. Are you going to make good by the community and release a polished, finished game that the fans deserve, or are you going to release an update and Archives 2.0? One of these saves the game and the other kills it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of the night and take care.